Hello, welcome, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Yes to Malaysia, Ask Me Anything, brought to you by Education Malaysia Global Assist and also our academic sponsors, Taylor's University. My name is Ahmad Rizal. We are streaming live from Kuala Lumpur, and we've got many questions that's been brought in by our subscribers, written in by also our viewers. And we hope to, again, as always, answer as many questions as possible. Those of you who are tuning in, as always, put in all your comments if you have any about studying in Malaysia into the comment box, and my team will do our level best to try to address them. All right, so if you're wondering who our academic sponsors are, as I've always mentioned, they are the #1 private university in Malaysia, and they are always very happy and always very glad to be able to bring scholarships or bursaries, not scholarships, but bursaries to all of you worth 7,000. So those of you who are tuning in, or those of you who have already wrote in to us, all right, so I think towards the end of the show, I will be telling you who are all these lucky winners. All right, now moving on, you'll be wondering why is there this little virus at the background here. Well, I think the purpose of the show it's always about giving information to all of you. All right, so I think I just wanted to be very transparent on what's the situation in Malaysia. I know many viewers, international students, you're wondering, what's it like in Malaysia? You've been reading the news, you're wondering what's happening in Malaysia. Well, these are the statistics of today's numbers. 21,468, sadly, new COVID cases that are detected in Malaysia itself. Now, how does this impact us, or impact you as a student, or impact you as a parent intending to send your child over to Malaysia? Well, on surface, this doesn't really look good. At having 21,000 cases daily, it may not be conducive at this moment to consider physically sending your child over. You may be arguing with me at a certain stage to say, hey, I've already got vaccinated and so forth. But yes, although you have been vaccinated, the country, unfortunately, the Malaysian government still is not comfortable to allow new visitors, new students for that matter, to enter the country at this point. So they have stopped processing new applications, all right? But for existing students whose applications are already in process, yes, there are exceptions for you to come into the country. Okay, but for new, I'm talking about absolutely new students, right? Where you're intending to make an application and hope to come to Malaysia by August or by September. Looking at these numbers, you could see here the numbers are quite severe. And if you look somewhere on the screen here, you will see 7,449. That is the state of Selangor. And that's primarily where most of the Malaysian universities are located. Okay, I'm not saying all are located in this state, but the majority of universities are either in Kuala Lumpur or in Selangor. And sadly, like I mentioned, these are the states that have or are recording the highest number of COVID cases. So because of this, so if you're planning to come over to Malaysia, I'm not saying no, don't apply to Malaysia. I'm just talking about the physical aspect of coming to Malaysia. Even people like me, like I told you, I'm streaming from KL. KL, Kuala Lumpur, okay, those of you who don't know what KL is, yeah. But anyhow, the situation, yes, it's I've said in the past, the situation looks bad, okay, looks severe in terms of number of COVID cases. But on the upside of things is that many Malaysians currently are getting vaccinated. We're not talking about the first doses. I'm talking about completed doses of vaccination. Okay, complete doses of vaccination. So that's a good thing, all right? And I foresee, and I totally do foresee that the number of cases should be declining in the coming weeks, all right? We should be seeing less and less reported cases, is because I think more and more people are being tested, and also more and more people are being vaccinated. So all of you out there, if you are eager to come into Malaysia, my advice would be at this point is go on and just start and enroll into an online program first, all right? Do the online program for 1 semester. As soon as the border opens, tune in to me and I'll tell you, I'll give you the green light. I'll even wave the flag. I'll even put up a welcome banner and get you guys all to come over to Malaysia. So this is currently the situation in Malaysia. So have the mindset, any of you wanting to come to Malaysia, have the mindset, start online and pray that by the second semester in maybe or the start of in 2022, you would already be able to be in Malaysia itself. All right, now let's go down to questions for tonight. Okay, background here, family. So I pretty much I could guess what this question would be already. It says here, is it possible for students' mom to stay in Malaysia during the period to take care of them? Okay, now let me carefully answer this question. Firstly, we'll talk about during the pandemic. Okay, during the pandemic and during the start of COVID-19, the Malaysian government has been allowing students to come in, right? I mentioned to you just now certain qualifications of students or certain types of students who have already done the applications well in advance could come into Malaysia. But there has been a rule, all right, during the entire COVID-19 pandemic, any students that come into Malaysia, unfortunately, whether you are a master's, undergraduate student, you are not allowed to bring any dependents. Okay, dependents could be your child, dependents could be your mom, your dad, and so forth, your wife for that matter. No, you're not allowed. Okay, so during the COVID-19, only the student with a valid student pass may enter. Okay, but please, I'm qualifying my statement here, all right? There are also exceptions to those students who can and cannot enter. But if you are one of those students that is allowed to enter into Malaysia, then you need to bear in mind that no dependents are allowed. But now let's go on to the general rule of this. Can my mom come with me if I'm going to start an undergraduate program in Malaysia? Well, the answer is no. No. Okay? So if you're going to apply for any undergraduate program in Malaysia, any undergraduate, which means degree, bachelor's program, you are not allowed to apply for a dependent visa. So which means even though you are already married and you have a family, no, you can't bring them. If you want your mom to accompany you, no, that will not be possible at all. Okay? So when is it possible to have a dependent visa? So the dependent visa is normally only extended to students who are coming to Malaysia to study a master's or PhD, i.e. a postgraduate program. Okay, so if you're applying for a postgraduate program, then yes, you will have the ability, right? Like I said, if there's no COVID situation, then you have the ability to basically apply for a dependent visa for your family, right? It could be for your wife, it could be also for your child, okay? But if you're applying for your child, again, another qualification is that your child cannot be above the age of 18, okay? So, no problem. So if you didn't say much here whether your mom is, you didn't say much here whether it's you're applying for an undergraduate or a postgraduate. So just to summarize, if it's for an undergraduate program, no. If it's for a postgraduate program, yes, there is a possibility that you could also get a dependent visa for your family to enter Malaysia. All right, so I hope that answers your question here. You just need to be very careful. But like I said, I like to repeat, during the COVID-19 pandemic, even though students are allowed to come in, you cannot bring in any dependents, regardless of whether it's undergraduate or postgraduate. All right, so like I said, the best way is just tune into my channel, subscribe to it. From time to time, I keep giving updates. I keep telling all my subscribers what's going on. So just tune in and it will definitely be addressed again in one of my future talks itself. Okay, moving on. Next question. Background seems interesting, so let's see what the question is. All right, when will the ban be lifted for Sri Lankans? UK support students can travel to Malaysia. So I am assuming you are asking here, since the UK supports students to enter the UK now, can Malaysia allow students to enter? I think, as I mentioned earlier on at the start of this session, currently we are faced in a very severe COVID situation. All right, there are 21,000 new cases daily, so this puts us in a very difficult situation because our healthcare system, our hospitals are very much stressed. All right, stressed by taking care of patients who require immediate health attention. So unfortunately, at this point, I'm not even talking about Sri Lankans. The Malaysian government is not processing any applications for any nationalities essentially to enter Malaysia. So this is not discriminatory. It's just for anyone to enter Malaysia. The borders, unfortunately, are currently closed for new applicants. All right. So the only thing we can do is just pray, hope that the situation will be better. As I mentioned again earlier on, that the situation looks to be improving. So maybe down the road in a couple of weeks, in a couple of months, the situation will be better. Best bet is start online. And I think, inshallah, by the start of 2022, we should be able to have you guys back here in Malaysia. All right, now let's move on. Okay, so the next question here. Oh, this question seems to be, let me just take a read here. Oh, seems to be one of our existing subscribers. You mentioned that you probably log on to one of our events platform. And then you were trying to get it working. I think first things first, alright? First things first. The website web address URL that you type in here looks incorrect. The actual URL is yes to malaysia.my Perhaps that's one of the reasons why you cannot connect to our virtual platform. So if any of you out there listening, we're going to have an event this weekend. You can meet a whole host of Malaysian universities. It's yes to malaysia.my. Log in there, and you probably see something on the background here. That's actually the actual video of our virtual platform. So log into yes to malaysia.my this weekend, and you'll be able to meet all the Malaysian universities themselves. And as I always said earlier on, it's not just go to our YouTube channel, yes to Malaysia, subscribe, and yeah, get all the updates that you need about studying in Malaysia. Alright, so thank you so much for that particular question. Moving on, Malaysian flag. Okay, must be a very interesting question here to have the Malaysian flag. It says here, you would like to study Bachelor of Economics or in Business, as well as Computer Science at what? University of British Columbia? Alright, yeah. I think you need to get the facts right here. British Columbia, I think this university is in Canada, in Vancouver. This is a Yes to Malaysia show, so we only give out information for Malaysian universities. So if you are interested to study Bachelor of Commerce or Economics, we definitely have those programs here over in Malaysia. But I can't unfortunately give you any information on British Columbia. But if you're looking at comparisons, then yeah, later on I think I will share a little bit about why you should come and study in Malaysia. But I think one of the things that may interest you is that we also have Canadian pathways. And what I mean by Canadian pathways is that you could basically come over to Malaysia, do 1 or 2 years, and then continue over to Canada and to complete your undergraduate studies. Okay, so this is already a possible pathway. We have many students that actually do that, and we've seen. Okay, I don't have the actual statistics, but we have actually seen the fact that students, whenever they come over to Malaysia to do the bridging program, to then apply to Canada, they always have a better chance of getting the visa itself. So this could be something that you may want to consider Malaysia as your first point of destination and make Canada probably as your final destination. Okay, so now let's move on. All right, something interesting here. Let's see. How to study in UK from Malaysia. This sounds a bit something like what I've just mentioned earlier on. Well, the good thing about it is that if you wish to undertake a UK degree in Malaysia, because your question is very general, all right? Unfortunately, Charles, the question seems so general. So I'll do my best to just try to give you the information that you probably need. So you're talking about UK and you want to be in Malaysia. So it's either two things, whether you could articulate, which means, like I mentioned, come into Malaysia first, then transfer to the UK, or complete entirely your program in Malaysia but get a UK degree. Well, you're just in luck. Firstly, just for everyone's knowledge, we have foreign branch campuses in Malaysia. Foreign branch campuses, which means the actual campus from UK, the actual campus from Australia, basically set up a branch, so to speak, in Malaysia itself. So you could go to one of these branch campuses and complete your degree and get the actual UK Australia degree itself. So you could see here on my screen, if you're talking about the UK universities, we have Nottingham, we have Newcastle, we have Reading, we have Harroward. So Southampton is also here. So we have the options that are available for UK. These universities cover almost everything from business, IT, medical, you name it. I think probably it's all already covered by these universities itself. So if you're looking for a UK degree in Malaysia, first possible opportunity for you would be perhaps go into one of these foreign branch campuses. Okay, if not, there's still another option. The other option will be perhaps through private universities. There are many private universities now. Please don't say, oh, there are only 6 private universities in Malaysia. No, there are many, but I think this just came off my mind. So these universities do offer articulations directly to UK universities. Again, something that I mentioned earlier on, coming to study 1 or 2 years in Malaysia and then complete the final or 2 years in the UK itself. So all these possibilities are available in Malaysia, and that's one of the reasons why Malaysia is such an attractive education destination for a lot of international students. Okay, now every time when I see the calculator, I probably would figure out that it's going to do something with costs. And so let me guess, yes. Average cost of study in Malaysia. Now, again, a very general question, but nonetheless, a very good question. So, average cost of study in Malaysia. Now, you didn't tell me what kind of programs you're looking at, all right? So, if you're looking from business programs to more specialized programs like engineering, right up to medicine programs, the fees all vary. So, I'm just going to give you a very snapshot overview. If you're looking for a business program, it could range between 60,000 right up to 100,000. You know, this is just a range, all right? Ringgit. So that will be roughly about 15,000 right up to perhaps $25,000 to complete. Okay. And then if you're looking for an engineering program, that will then be about around 80,000 right up to about 120,000 ringgit. Okay, so that's maybe roughly about 40,000 US dollars, right up to close to about 45,000, maybe even 50,000 US dollars to complete. Okay, and normally, more specialized programs like engineering, they are 4 years. So if you divide that by 4, you're looking again at an average of maybe about 15,000 US dollars a year. I think this is very affordable and inexpensive, all right? And if you're looking at the medicine spectrum of it, that will be between 300,000 to about 500,000 Malaysian ringgits, okay? So that should be putting you at maybe close to about 100,000 US dollars on average to complete a medicine program. That's 5 years. So again, it will be roughly about 20,000 US dollars a year. All right, so that will be an average between the different specializations. And if you're interested on what is the cost of living in Malaysia, the cost of living in Malaysia for an average student, okay? Average student would be perhaps around 400 to right up to 600 US dollars a month. This covers accommodation, covers meals, covers some light entertainment and so forth. Of course, this is just an average, guys, all right? If you eat 5 times a day, then of course the cost goes up. If you are able to cook on your own, cost comes down. It also depends on what kind of accommodation you're looking at. If you want a single room with bathroom, you don't mind sharing with your friends, and so forth. These are all the different variations that could also affect your cost. So if you're looking at just rough calculation, that will be between 400 to 600 US dollars just for cost of living, which includes, like I said, accommodation as well as meals and entertainment. Now, we did a video a while ago. So if you go into my YouTube channel, there is something called the USD $5. Students can survive with just USD $5 in Malaysia a day. Interesting video. It's not very long. Maybe it's just about a minute or so. But they'll show you what kind of food you basically can get with USD $5. Very interesting. So if you have the time, log on to my YouTube channel, Yes to Malaysia. Look for this video. It says there, can an international student survive with USD $5 a day? And watch that particular video. Will give you a good glimpse on cost of living in Malaysia itself. Okay. So we've come to an end again. It's always the time that I mentioned to you that most of the university major intakes are in August and in September. Um, Due to the pandemic, most universities, in fact, all universities, will be starting their intakes online. So that's a good thing for you, which means that those of you who are looking to still apply to study in Malaysia, if you're looking at studying in Taylor's, they do have an August intake, which is about to start. But if you are really interested to come into Malaysia and to study in Taylor's, all right, hook up with us, talk to my team. We'll try our level best to get you, squeeze you in. Use the word to squeeze you into an August intake. Failing which, there will be an October intake as well. But like I said, the rest of the universities in Malaysia, the major intakes are normally in August, September, and October itself. Okay, so now something interesting will be, as always, the winners, all right? 7,000 bursaries, as I mentioned earlier on. There will be 7,000 bursaries. And the winners are here. Okay, so if you do find your name here, you see your email, all right, then just wait for the next 24 hours. My team will be in communication with you, outreaching to you and sharing with you this 7,000 bursary from Taylor's University itself. Okay, and as always, log on to my YouTube channel, Yes to Malaysia, subscribe to it, and we'll give you all the whole truth about studying in Malaysia. And we hope, please keep your questions coming in every week, and I'll do my level best to answer anything that you have as a concern. So with that, I wish all of you a very good weekend ahead. Stay safe and be diligent. And if you're going to apply to Malaysia, now's the time to Malaysia. Hook us up, Yes to Malaysia, emga.com.my. My team will be ready to help you with your applications as well. So with that, thank you and goodbye.